Sorry about my, is this on? Yeah, okay. Sorry about my writing. I had a teacher tell me I should be a doctor, but I failed biology, so. Anyway, I just want to apologize in advance. I have a really shitty mustache going. I probably am not allowed around an elementary school right now. I wrestle for Millersville, and a few of the guys on the team and I were growing out mustaches because you have to be clean shaved everywhere but your upper lip. And none of us can grow mustaches. But I put up a picture on Instagram today, actually, and one of my buddies comments on a nice mustache. I'm like, dude, I'm just trying to qualify for mustationals this year. Leave me alone. Anyway, growing up, I grew up in the, where I was in middle school in the MySpace era. All my friends had MySpace. But as I said last time I was here, I grew up Italian Catholic and redneck. So my internet was dial-up until I was about 14. So we had to ask Mom, can I use the computer? Because she might be on the phone with Miss Judy, her best friend who lives 5 minutes down the road. I was never on the computer. So my mom's a teacher. She would never let us have, MySpace or anything like that. So I've never had that MySpace experience, and I don't know how to feel about that. So then freshman year of high school hits, and my buddy Case is like, dude, you have to get a Facebook. Everybody has a Facebook. Because it wasn't exclusive to college kids at this point. This is 2009. So I'm like, all right, I'll make a Facebook. And I tell my mom I made a Facebook that day because I did not have a good poker face at that age. And she's like, okay, that's fine, you're in high school. And then so I had my Facebook for a couple years, and we end up, Twitter becomes very big while I'm in high school. My mom's like, you're not allowed to have a Twitter. I'm like, why? So I did what any 16-year-old son would do and went behind my mom's back and made a Twitter account. And Twitter, as some of us may know, you have your handle name, your @ name, and then your real name on there. So my real name on there is Nick Mancini. And I reached down to the cruelest time of my life, middle school, for my @ name. Because when I was about 13, 5 foot, 150 pounds, guys I went to school with, and girls I went to school with, Catholic school by the way, would go, ha, your name rhymes with Dick Man Weenie. So now my Twitter, my Instagram, and my Snapchat, that's that social media, and my Square Cash, if you ever want to send me money, are all Dick Man Weenie. And it's really funny to me. If you're trying to employ me, don't look at my things. I don't have anything to hide. It's such an unprofessional name, and I'm going to make a professional account later in life when I decide to be a grown-up. So anyway, my favorite thing about Facebook and Twitter and everything was in high school, I'd get friend requests from random girls I didn't know. I went to an all-guy Catholic school. We had 2 all-girl schools right down the street. So of course you accept, because you're 14, what's a girl? Questions we ask our teachers every day. What's a girl? So, you learn how to flirt via social media because that's your only exposure to women, other than the open dances we'd host like 4 times a year. Well, as I get on to college, Twitter's still pretty big, and I'd get followed by random Millersville girls. And sometimes we'd tweet back and forth, and then my favorite expression on social media came up, diving into DMs. So, you're kind of like a Michael Phelps diver, and you go into their messages. Well, I would have girls who would sometimes message me. I don't know why, I'm pretty fugly. And I'd message them sometimes, and I would end up meeting women from social media. It's great. I'm not great with people. This is awesome. And then there's an art now. I call it an art. It's probably not an art, but I call it Instagram flirting. It's when you go through somebody's profile, and you're clearly stalking them, and you just go and like all their shit. It gets their attention. It's kind of creepy. I'm not big on doing it. But this girl I know, she did it to me first, and she's really good looking. So I did it to her, and we're Facebook friends and all that. So I'm on a bus ride home one day, and I decided, instead of diving into her Instagram messages or even her Twitter messages, we're going to go for the Facebook message. So I did it. It was bold. So I ended up getting her phone number, so I guess I did okay. And we get along pretty well. Her younger brother's a wrestler, so there's enough to connect. Like, hey, how'd your brother do? I have an excuse to start a conversation, which is great. And but wrestling season's almost over, so I'm running out of filler. And Social media, I mean, and then social media is really screwed up. There's an app out there called Tinder. It's a dating app, and you have to have a Facebook to use them. Like, shit, they can find me by my picture. So mine is, you know, like every other douchebag, redneck, Catholic, I'm holding a fish. And I'm not always a redneck. I have other levels to me. I also major in English. I can be pretty deep, you know, like, I'm not the puddle I appear to be. And I get, you know, I'll be swiping right, not paying attention, and, you know, you get your occasional tranny there, and my brother had that happen to him, and his best friend decided to take his friend and message him, and that was an awkward situation for my brother. And I've learned over the course of the past week and a half that I don't really want to meet Tinder girls, because usually you end up going out and never hearing from them again. Then again, it was also a pretty shitty end on my part because I didn't do anything, you know, fun. We saw a movie, I didn't talk, and then we left. But going back to the Instagram flirting, it's definitely a fine art, because if you overdo it, you're definitely creepy. If you underdo it, it looks like, oh, he was looking at my thing, but he's just not that interested. It was like one like. So yeah, I've liked all of this girl's shit, all of it. And I think I had the happiest moment of my life today, going back to that photo of mustationals. She texted me, because I also hashtagged it's still ugly, because my face is bleeding. My friend called it a sideways Harry Potter scar. And she's like, still ugly, and more like, still awesome. So I guess I'm doing okay, and I'm going out with her in 2 weeks, so wish me luck and thank you. Have a nice night.